Luke 19 tells us, and he, Jesus, was teaching daily in the temple. The chief priests and the scribes and the principal men of the people sought to destroy him, but they did not find anything they could do, for all the people hung upon his words. The Gospels tell us that the scribes and the chief priests tried several times to lay their hands on Jesus. Every effort they made failed. Why did they do this? What was the problem? The truth that Jesus taught and lived was a threat to their lifestyle. The compassionate and direct teachings of Jesus spoke against their form of authority, self-focused power, and wealth that was gained off the backs of everyday people who were trying to worship God. The scribes and chief priests, through their lifestyle and actions, ran the risk of inciting the people to revolt. They were wicked. They did not serve God but themselves. Their attempts to trap Jesus failed because adoring crowds continually surrounded him. The Bible tells us that the people hung upon his words. We know there were other Messiah figures that presented themselves to the people and other Jewish teachers expressing their teaching of the law. So why was there so much love for Jesus? Why did the people listen so intently? What set Jesus apart? Jesus' mastery and authority in his responses, teaching, and actions set him apart and astounded those who listened to him. An excellent example of this is his teaching on paying taxes to Caesar. Imagine Jesus on the steps or inside of the temple, teaching those crowds around him. They were listening intently. And the leaders trying to catch Jesus thought they had a plan that would trap Jesus into either offending Rome or the Jewish people. Either way, Jesus would be in trouble. If their plan proved successful, this act would give the chief priests and their scribes the ammunition needed to accuse Jesus of wrong before the Jewish people or the Roman government. Luke 20 tells us the following. Keeping a close watch on him, they sent spies who pretended to be sincere. They hoped to catch Jesus in something he said so that they might hand him over to the power and authority of the governor. So the spies questioned him, "Teacher, we know that you speak and teach what is right, and that you do not show partiality, but teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. Is it right for us to pay taxes to Caesar or not?" He saw through their duplicity and said to them, "Show me a denarius. Whose image and inscription are on it?" "Caesar's," they replied. And he said to them, "Then give back to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's." They were unable to trap him in what he had said, and astonished by his answer, they became silent. Luke tells us that the people were marveling. Matthew and Mark share a similar statement. What was so marvelous? An explanation of this passage shows Jesus' brilliance. Understanding how Jews learned the biblical text in antiquity helps us understand the discussion in Luke 20. They had a culture of oral learning, not one of chapter and verse. The moment Jesus mentioned the word image, their minds of the listeners would have immediately thought of Genesis 1 verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. Though it may bypass some of us today, those listening to Jesus would have understood what he was saying. The message that silenced those trying to trap him was this: give God that which has his image, and Caesar that which has his. Essentially, give to God you, and to Caesar the coin. We are made in the image of God, and this allows us a glimpse into the love God has for us. Jesus reflected on the fact that we are created in the image of God many times, and therefore we have great value. It is the core of his teachings on earth. When we do not treat others made in his image with the same degree of value that he holds for us, we run the risk of allowing controlling factors of power, backbiting, negative talk, lying to overcome our lives. The very point of the message of the coin gives credence and strength to the reason Jesus came to earth and agreed to face death. All because we have value to our Father who is in heaven. So today, let me ask you a question. Do you allow borders to determine who is in and who is outside your view of the image of God? Do you see value in every human being? Is your relationship to others based on what they can do for you or the care God has for them? What could be meant for harm, God can use for good. The death Jesus was facing was premeditated. It was sought out in conniving and logical ways, to the point that the chief priests sought out Judas. The scribes and priests could not catch Jesus during the day. He was too popular, so their option turned to night, and they needed help finding him so that they could attempt the death of Jesus in secrecy.